Gotta have that little dose of Wagner for a Monday morning. I believe it's Monday morning. Yeah, I think it is. This is a pre-recorded video, like pre-recorded weeks before it sees the light of day. Tonight, I started with an Akashi blended Japanese whiskey, which is just superb. Then I had a surprisingly good Wiser's, it was a Wiser's small batch. Wiser's small batch, beautiful. It's like Wiser's Deluxe, but aged in virgin American oak. Fabulous, wonderful stuff. Now I have something really special. But first, before I get into that, can you tell the difference between a real Glencairn glass? You can see it says Glencairn in the bottom there. You can see the lettering right in the bottom of the glass. I think I got it upside down. Yes, I do. Maybe now it's easier to read. See the lettering in the bottom of the glass? That's a real Glencairn. This one here, I got at the Whisky Festival. We had the grand tasting of Canadian Club 41-year-old. This is the Canadian Club glass. It has no writing in the bottom. There's no lettering in the bottom. This is not a Glencairn glass. This is a knockoff. But it'll do the job for this very special Canadian Club that I have right here. This was released in 2017, I believe. And in 2018, around the time when I was looking for this, in I guess it was April. Yeah, towards the end of April, I was looking for this everywhere. None of the Canadian or British Columbia liquor stores had any of this. This was a part of the premium spirits release of 2017. But here I was in April of 2018 looking for it, and BC liquor stores didn't have it. I went up to Sydney, and in Sydney, there's a little store right near the ocean that had it. So I bought it. Canadian Club 40-year-old. This one set me back only $219.91. So the tax on that was, well, there was a 10-cent bottle deposit, so $220 was the price, plus $22 in liquor tax and $11 in goods and service tax. Not too bad. So 11 and 22, that would be 33. So $253 is what this ended up costing me with all the taxes included. But it is 40 years old. How often do you get to drink 40-year-old whiskey? And how often does it cost you only $250? Now this is something special. I have not opened this up yet. But look, it comes in its own little baggie. It's like Crown Royal, but this is like a velvet baggie. It says Canadian Club on it in gold. Now, this is like opening up a new Mac computer. The Mac computer has a package, and to open up the package is like an event. And this is just like opening up that. Oh, this is tied. This was tied shut. And we open up the baggie. Oh, this is classy. Look at that. It's got the these ties that come off. Or you can pull them tight, and you can tie them up. But here we can pull them apart. Oh, this is lovely. Here we go. Get this bottle out of the baggie. Nice. Look at the presentation of this. Canadian Club. And on the side and on the back, it's etched on the bottle. Yeah, it's etched. And there's the label. And like that. 40-year-old whiskey. So, 2017, that means in 1977 was when this was distilled. I was only 13 years old at the time. Now we've got a bunch of, there's a stamp here, a seal, and there's a plastic thing. Oh, here's the plastic thing. I think we can get the plastic thing open. This is an event. This is an event to open one of these. Come on. But you know, I could have kept it sealed and kept looking at it, but it was time to open it up. Oh, come on, you. Now, we're getting the plastic off of there. We got some more plastic on here. Let's get rid of all this plastic. Yeah, easier said than done. Okay. Let's get the plastic off of there. Ow. Almost poked myself. I'm a klutz, okay? I think we're making some headway now. Okay. Get some more of this plastic wrap off of there. There. Got rid of the plastic wrap. Now we've got what looks to be a really big cork. Oh, that's pretty loose too. Well, so much for the seal. It's a heavy cork too. It's heavy, and it's real heavy, heavy, heavy. Now let's pour a dram of this stuff into its very own knockoff Glencairn Canadian Club glass, which I got at the grand tasting for the 41-year-old. I know I'm opening this up a year late, but better late than never, eh? Once again, there's the presentation. Now, while I let this sit here for a little while, some would say to let it sit for an hour, I'm going to just read what it says on here. Okay. It's small writing. Oh, the tasting notes or nosing notes. And on this side, bottled in Canada or distilled in Canada, Canadian Club Whisky Company, Walkerville, Ontario. Please enjoy your whiskey responsibly. Original Club Whisky. Canadian whiskey, 45% alcohol by volume and aged 40 years. 40 years. Just think back 40 years. A lot has happened in the time this was in the wood. A lot of things have changed in the world. Who would have thought back in the 70s that we would each have computers like this where we could do multimedia. Oh, ho, 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 ho. This is beautiful. I'm getting fruits. Stone fruits. Like plums and raisins. I know, raisins are not stone fruits. Need some chocolate. We have to let this open up a little bit. I'm going to take my time with this. I don't know if you have the patience. Let's look and see what's coming down the glass. What's coming down the glass? It's thick and viscous. Oh, some of them are running faster. Some of them are taking their sweet time. Oh, now we're getting more. Chocolate. Milk chocolate. Spice. What is that? It's a spice. I don't know what spice. Nutmeg. Yeah, nutmeg. I imagine that as time goes on, this will give us more flavors and more wood. But the wood is not overpowering. It's like a hardwood. It's like a wood that slowly reacts with the whiskey. Well, oak is a hardwood, isn't it? What the story is behind this is that back in 1967, there was this guy at Canadian Club who put rye whiskey into these barrels. A lot of rye whiskey, a lot of barrels. Then a few months later, he died. I forget his name. And 1977. What am I getting now? I'm getting a complex, creamy, to me it smells like mushrooms. Strange. Like cream of mushroom soup. But there will be more. Anyway, these barrels that contained rye whiskey were emptied because they were going to use the rye whiskey. And I'm getting some of that rye that came from the wood, and fudge, chocolate, Toffee. It's like chocolate toffee. Anyway, what they did with these barrels in 1977 is they put corn whiskey in them. And they just let it age and age and age, and they didn't know what they were going to do with it. Finally, it was decided to bottle this stuff. And wow, this is an exquisite nose. I am really treating myself. I get fruits. Plums. Raisins. And I get chocolate. Chocolate and fudge. And toffee. Chocolate toffee. And some spices too from the rye. Now, I'm not getting dill or spearmint like I would in an American rye. The flavors are more subtle, or what I'm nosing, the aromas are more subtle than the rye you'd get out of an American whiskey. Because don't forget, this is 100% corn that was aged in ex-rye casks. Wow. It's like taking the 20-year-old 90, or was it 25-year-old? 20-year-old 90, and doubling the age. And aging it in ex-rye casks rather than an ex-bourbon. I know I'm going on, but it requires time. It's lovely. And it is, of course, Canadian Club. There's that cream of mushroom soup again. There's certain notes in this that keep recurring. Now I'm getting a little bit of mint. Spearmint. Something nutty as well. Almonds, marzipan. Marzipan, spearmint. I'm going to give it a taste now that we're 19 minutes into this thing. Wow. Mm. Mm. Rich and fruity. Plums and prunes. Oh, smoothness. And I'm finding it very hard to describe the flavors that I'm getting. It was just a blast of flavor all over the mouth. And the finish has fruits and oak and rye and very subtle minty all over the mouth. Oh, oh, this is wonderful, wonderful. That's just the first sip. Wow, man. You know, when you're at a whiskey festival and you're at a grand tasting or something like that, you don't have the time to really appreciate this because they go through the whiskey so fast. 41-year-old whiskey, here you go, 5 minutes. It needs time. Here's that beautiful nose again. I seem to be getting more wood, more oak the second time I'm nosing it after I've had a mouthful. Wow. Oh. Did I show the box yet? I must have. Yes. And there's a bunch of writing on the back. I'm going to read it while I let this age a little more. Canadian Club, we are proud to unveil our most distinguished achievement, Canadian Club 40-year-old, the highest age expression in the history of Canadian Club. This is as of 2017, sorry. There's a 41 that was released a year later. I have that too. Highest age expression in the history of Canadian Club. 4 decades ago, our craftsmen barreled this exceptional liquid, then let it rest, allowing time for it to absorb as much flavor as possible from the wood. Our patience resulted in a whiskey experience you will be proud to serve at your most meaningful occasions. Wow. Well, just having this is a meaningful occasion. It is just... Okay. Let's have a second sip, shall we? Oh, man. This is as good to me as any scotch I've ever had. Better than many. Mm. It's fruity and woody and spicy and minty and chocolatey. Ah, fruity. Oh, man. What will the addition of some water do to this? 45% alcohol by volume deliciousness. Just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit. Okay, 1 drop. Maybe a little more. Oh, couple more drops. 3 drops of water. Wow. This is beautiful juice. It's so beautiful it's making me cry, or I'm almost crying. It's lovely. It's just, this is probably one of the best whiskeys I ever Took my time. Took the time to enjoy. I'm getting more of that cream of mushroom soup now. It's a little more spicy. I'm getting chocolate. Oh, chocolate. Cocoa powder. Chocolate. I think the water may have made this more creamy. I'm still getting something minty. Minty with cream of mushroom soup and chocolate. I know it sounds disgusting, but the way it comes together is just exquisite. Mm. Smooth is an understatement. This is velvety, velvety smooth. And chewy. And just totally delicious. Every sip gives me more flavors. Ah, there's that nose again. There's the prunes and the plums. Hiding under that is the chocolate and the fudge and the cocoa powder. Ah, man, this is hard to beat. Who would have thought? Canadian whiskey, Canadian club. The barrels have given so much to this whiskey. And the wood is almost as old as I am. Well, actually, the barrels were made just a couple of years after I was born. Oh, I could go on all night. Here's that cream of mushroom soup again. The same flavors or the same nose notes recur. Is this ever beautiful? I never thought that a Canadian whiskey would be this good. This is fantastic. Wowie kazowie. Did I get a sample of this and try it in the past? I don't even remember. But it was nowhere near as good as this if I did get a sample of it. I'll have to check. I have to check my videos and see if I ever got one of these. This is really something special. And I will drink to your very good health. Cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.